as a result of the verdict handed down yesterday in the Rodney King beating case. 4 officers were acquitted on all of the most serious charges, and even some of the minor ones. Only one minor charge against one officer had the jury a little stymied. They hung on that one issue, and the prosecutors are now deciding whether to retry on that one issue, but it only involves one of the officers in the case.
What time did the rioting start?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed to erupt at some point, probably at dark or something, because people were just sort of protesting shortly after the verdict was announced. I don't know when all hell broke loose, but by the time the 11 o'clock news came on, it was in full swing.
And by the way, the 11 o'clock news encourages it, because, or even the 5 and the 6 o'clock news, because they all get on and they go, there's going to probably be rioting tonight.
Police are bracing for some possible trouble.
Yeah. But I mean, that's almost like saying, okay, go out and do it. But
yeah, so we'll have some pictures.
But who are these jerks that run through the streets like this? Untie the cops' hands and let them wipe them out for once and for all. We got them all on the street. The enemy is identified. It's no longer guerrilla warfare. Lines have been set up. We know who the enemy is. Go out and get them.
California Governor Pete Wilson has called out 2,000 National Guard troops to help secure the riot-torn areas. It's the first time the Guard has been put on duty in Los Angeles since the Watts riots nearly 30 years ago.
Wow. Unbelievable. How could you justify robbing them? I don't get it. There's nothing in those people's heads on the street. There's nothing. There's no political agenda. It's strictly go out and rob and loot.
100 schools have been closed in the areas hardest hit by the overnight rioting. Officials say there will be no school bus transportation within that area, even for students who attend schools outside of the area. So
that's
you
great.
can't even get to school from there today.
So we can raise more idiots.
President Bush is calling for calm in the wake of all of this violence.
Calm. They look like somebody's listening to anything.
He said in a statement from the White House, very safe place, that the verdict, in his words, has left us all with a deep sense of personal frustration and anguish. But he says it's important to respect the law and the legal process. He says the federal government will work with California authorities to maintain order. He says he'll meet with the Attorney General, William Barr, today to determine what options might be available for the federal government to get involved. Meanwhile, let's look at the verdict. Not too many people have done that. We've been focusing on the rioting and the violence that has occurred as a result of the verdict.
But our show is different, right, Robin?
We're going to look at all of the aspects
right
that are involved in this case. But maybe we ought to listen to some of the people, too, who are involved before we move on. So let's hear from people involved in trying to maintain order, politicians who have opinions.
And also replay the reporter getting...
people on the street. Well, let's start with that, don't we?
This is pretty cool tape.
Bob Brill, a reporter out in Los Angeles, was on the street doing an eyewitness account of a man who had been ripped from his car and was being savagely beaten. And as he was issuing that report, someone attacked him.
The man is up now. His clothes are torn. He's still bleeding all over the place. He's trying to get back into his truck. He is getting back into his truck. It's a transit mixed truck. And he's white. He's trying to get out, trying to drive through this intersection now. I hope he has enough power on his own to just get out of the area. I'm a news reporter. Now I see smoke. Something. Can't tell. Oh, God! No! Okay.
Sounds like Three Stooges. I tell you, it's the guy, like he goes, I'm a reporter.
Yeah,
like those animals care.
Like the sign of the cross to a vampire.
You got a wallet. I don't care what you are. We're getting your money, we're taking your TVs, and we're taking your radio.
You got a lot of equipment there, dude.
Yeah. Well,
So anyway, someone talked to Mr. Brill from the hospital. Apparently he suffered some broken teeth and some bruises and abrasions.
I never did see the person that hit me. They hit me with a beer bottle from behind. I'm covered with beer. I stink like a beer hole. But hit me
Porter Schmoller, man, you am a target, and I'm hitting you. I tell you, that's some scene. You got to be nuts to be out on the street.
And let's now guess this Marie Freem, or Marie Freem, is a woman who, after hearing the verdict, got together with some friends, or converged to somewhere. And here's some of her comments and some chanting.
Those police, they're guilty. The ones that are upstairs in this building here, they are guilty. That's how all of us feel.
Guilty of what?
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
Those are all the guilt-ridden whiteys out there.
I think she was a black woman.
She was?
Yeah.
Freeman?
Freem.
Oh, it's Freem.
Yeah.
Oh, it says on here Freeman.
No, it's Freem.
I don't know what she is, but I'll tell you one thing. It's a whole different set of rules out there for 1990s. It's a whole different set of rules. I'm telling you. There's no more law. There's no more such a thing as pulling someone over to the side of the road and them civilly getting out of the car and behaving. There's no such thing anymore. There's complete lawlessness. It's like Colombia. Remember we used to read about Colombia? When you and I started working together, you used to do reports about Colombia. Mm-hmm. And you talk about how 9 cops were shot in the head. They go in to do a drug bust for the government, but it turns out the drug dealers would shoot them in the head and nothing would even happen.
Right, then the politicians would get shot and the judges would get shot if they tried to prosecute.
Exactly. It's a whole set of new rules. What is it?
Do you care to talk to a woman who's angry that we do incompetent newscasts that don't give the right information or not giving the news correctly?
Listen, you can attack me, but you cannot attack Robin.
No, it's not.
You cannot attack Robin.
No, she's just saying...
She is doing a very competent newscast.
I think we're
She's giving the... Excuse me, Robin, I'm going to come to your defense right now.
I would like to know what she says I'm not doing.
I will be your knight in shining armor, if I may. Thank you. I will be your own personal Los Angeles Police Department. I will follow very few rules, but I will take care of business. Thank you. Is there a videotape running? No. Yes? What's your problem, Yenta? Hello? You already hung up.
Yeah, she got nervous.
Yeah, she got nervous.
Aha!
It's a phony.
She didn't think we were doing the proper type of newscast.
It's probably Dan Rather's wife. Tell her to go screw
the
off.
proper type of newscast.
Proper newscast. As if there could be a proper newscast. As if we've ever done a proper newscast.
She better go somewhere else.
You're not kidding. Wait a second. Forget it. Go ahead, Robin.
Let's listen to some more protesters.
All right. What? Hold
Number
on.
6, protesters.
Thank you. Give me the numbers here. I'm a little confused. I'm a little charged up this morning.
This is ridiculous. People are getting beat down in the streets, and you see it on film, and it's okay. But yet, a man can shoot a dog, and mess with a dog, and go to jail. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Do what you gotta do. Whoa, man. That's your example, man. Yo.
I'm not sure what the hell the point was. What was the point there? So funny, isn't it? Humanity. Hey. Everybody with their point of view, and this one and that one. And just everybody behave. Just behave. So simple. Life is simple. Life is easy. Behavior. Behave.
That is your admonition.
That's it. Behave. If everyone could behave,
everything would be fine, huh?
I'd behave. Let me tell you my day. I get up. I eat a little breakfast. I read the newspaper. Go to work. Go home from work. Yell at my wife. Make up with my wife. Bang my wife if my testicles feel all right. Go to sleep, and I'm back at work again. On the weekend, my in-laws will be in. I'll sit there. I'll hide from them all weekend. I got a couple of movies rented I'm going to watch. It's going to be great. Occasionally, I paint. Take the edge off. You see me back there, Robin, with the beret. I got a beret on.
Very calm, very
beautiful.
sedate.
I sit in my office. Construction workers yell at me from across the window. Whatever it is, but I behave. I don't do anything wrong. So I put a sign in the window that says jump. What do I care?
Let's listen to another woman on the street.
Yeah.
Number 9 and number 10.
Number 9 and number 10.
Hear what she has to say.
Stupid me as
about
for
all this.
a window in my office, and I got construction workers bothering me.
Are they bothering you?
No, man, you got to come back there. It's a whole show. I'm doing a show back there afterwards.
The black people now, they don't trust nobody. And like they had burn, baby, burn, it's going to be kill, baby, kill all the
That's beautiful.
people.
That's beautiful. That's just beautiful, sweetheart. That's beautiful. You've learned a lot about life.
What else did she have to say?
Black people are doomed. They're doomed, and not because there aren't good black people. It's just that this I don't know. There's a percentage. I don't know. They're running through the streets, making everybody look bad. I just want to go through. I just want to say it's not all black people. It's not all Mexicans. It's not all Spanish. There's a certain segment that has slipped through the cracks, and they must go. They have to leave this country. They have to, or else we're doomed. We have to ship them somewhere to another planet, Uranus, and get rid of them. We are doomed.
It's showing me that the police people have the right to beat up somebody, go to court, and nothing happen to them. So if they happen to beat me, and they got evidence from the beginning to the ending. They got the whole thing on tape.
You can win.
If I go to court, I'll be wasting my time.
Yeah, that's right. You're wasting your time. Believe me. You would be found guilty. Let me tell you something. The system has failed. The police no longer get any respect. They don't know what to do. They're shaking in their pants out there. There's no such thing as proper police behavior. I don't know. I say put all these troublemakers in an exact replica of the Challenger. Spaceship Challenger, remember that one? Went up, boom.
Oh, dear.
That's all. Goodbye. Good night. Good night, everybody. Troublemakers. Professional troublemakers. And you know, there always were professional troublemakers throughout history, but there's never been such an abundance of troublemakers. Guys standing around waiting for the next big event so they can loot.
Well, Rodney King is said to be rather upset with the verdict.
You're not kidding.
He has moved to another area of town and sort of stays to himself. I don't think he's worked since this incident occurred. He's still considering a suit against the city.
Let me tell you something,
as
Robin.
a result of his injuries.
That woman you just heard there, screaming about burn, baby, burn, kill, baby, kill.
Mm-hmm.
So if Rodney King had been in a high-speed chase with the police and Rodney had run over her kid, you would have heard a whole different story out of her mouth. You would have heard, man, no police didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything because there was a black baby laying there on the road. And then they didn't do nothing, man. They didn't even hit that stupid sucker. That's what I mean. You can't get a break. They didn't care because there was a black man hitting a black baby. If it had been a white baby, they would have beat him. I'm telling you, you can't win.
It's a no-win situation.
It's a no-win situation.
Well, I told you I wanted to talk about the verdict. Apparently, ABC talked to one of the jurors anonymously. And last night on Nightline, Ted Koppel repeated what he was told by that juror, because none of the jurors has spoken while granting their name, and this was the only one who would speak anonymously.
Right.
He said that the fact that Rodney King had been chased for more than 8 miles and that he totally refused to cooperate with police. Time and again, apparently the jurors said that King controlled the action. He could have stopped it when he got out of the car. He could have put his hands in the air and he wouldn't have been touched.
Of course.
That was the jurors' perspective on the whole thing. They looked